Hey, it is week 2 on our wellness journey, and I am really excited of what I've been seeing on our group. And I enjoyed the introductions and what you're committing to during this time. And I enjoyed the dialogue about meditation, where you're starting from, what's your experience, some of your tips and tricks, and the resources. So thank you for engaging in the page, because I get something out of it and others get something out of it too. So continue to share in any of the comments and threads that just relevant things that you have experienced. And we're going to dive into week 2, which is release. Okay, so release is my second one that we're going to focus on for week 2, and it has a picture of a butterfly. We are going to release things and shift into a new dimension. So release is all about letting go. Physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, we need to let go. It's like the decluttering of our world and our life. And so we're going to dive into a few different aspects, because letting go physically is one thing and letting go emotionally is another thing, right? And so there's a couple of aspects. For me, release is about physical detoxification that happens, and it's also a lot about the emotional release. Okay, so we'll talk about both. This is a time of year where it's a lot colder, so I don't run juice cleansers. Some of you have done them before, but for me, a juice cleanse is a major physical release. Okay, so fasting and juice cleansing, even intermittent fasting, is when my body releases a lot of stuff. And I'm not keen for that right now. I struggle with the cold and food is warming, so I will just do some small amounts of intermittent fasting. You would have seen my goal for this time is to not eat after 7 o'clock. And so that's also a form of fasting. If your body can at least get 12 or more hours without eating, it's amazing what that does to your system. And another little hack that is really beneficial for me when I'm not doing juice fasting or I'm not doing just water fasting is starting my day with lemon water. Okay, this is a really amazing physical thing you can do every day that helps you release toxins and support detoxification. If you're not digging lemon water, there's also the apple cider vinegar. These things stimulate our liver, they stimulate our digestive system, and they're just like a daily kind of release. Okay, we're going to do, like we did last week, a thread for all things release and detoxification. And so we're going to share more specific tips and tricks and things to do in there to help you physically release. But in this video, I want to talk more about emotional release, okay, and where the homework that we have around that. And I hope the word homework doesn't trigger any of you. Maybe tell me a better word to use, because it's like, I need your participation in this. You're going to have to engage, and we're going to have everyone schedule at least half an hour this week, one evening preferably, where you can sit down and give yourself time to explore your emotions and have some emotional release. So for some of you who have been thriving in your meditation, this would have been coming up for you anyway. I find when I meditate, stuff comes up. And for others, this will be really, really significant, and some major stuff might come up. So you might want to allow an hour if your husband's shift work and he's going to be gone that evening, or he's out with some friends and you've got the evening to yourself, would be ideal. Okay, so we when we have emotions that we don't process and they're so uncomfortable, we decide to stuff them down. They're actually stored in your body and in your energy field. Okay, so whatever we don't process sticks with us, and that's what can cause dis-ease in our body, because we have stuck energy, stuck emotions. That makes us reactive people, because we've just got this build up and we're just trying to keep, like, just like your bedroom. If you stuff everything in the closet because you're like, I can't deal with this right now, I can't deal with it right now, you've got this bulging closet full of stuff, and you need to be staying there. You need to be keeping on guard to keep that stuff in. And that's no way to live. That is not a freeing or liberating way to live. And I'll just throw this in there for what it's worth. Our homes can often be a reflection of our emotional world as well. Okay, so you might have clutter in certain areas of your home that could be indicating clutter in those emotional areas of your life. It could, or sometimes we overreact, so we overcompensate. So if we're having like issues in, say, our marriage or something, our bedroom's immaculate, we keep it perfectly tidy because we're like overcompensating in that area of our lives. Anyway, that may or may not relate to you, but our home can often be a little reflection of our inner world. So emotions that are not processed, and like I like to say, they're not touched with love and released, are stored in our bodies. They cause dis-ease, they cause reactivity, they cause us to not be fully in tune and in touch with ourselves and the people in our lives. So what are we going to do? Again, last week, mindfulness and meditation is like maintenance for all that. The more mindful we are, the more we process it at the time. But for many of us, we have stored emotions from our childhood, from past relationships, from sense of failure, lack, all those kind of things. Okay, so what do we do? There's lots of things we can do, but some of the things I have done is I use essential oils. My studies with essential oils brought me greater clarity on how essential oils are just beautifully linked to releasing emotions. So, small bit of science. Your olfactory bulb in your nose is linked to your limbic system, okay, in your brain. Now, your limbic system is only accessed by this olfactory bulb, by the sense of smell. So when you smell something like a rose or a certain dish or a certain oil, sometimes you get triggered, like, oh, that takes me back here or there or whatever, because that sense of smell links to your limbic system. And your limbic system is like your library storing, filing system in your brain, okay? So that limbic system has stored emotions and memories in your body in different places. And why essential oils are helpful is because they can bring those memories and emotions to the surface. So then you get an opportunity to touch it with love. And by touching it with love, sometimes that means just observing it and seeing for what it is and just acknowledging it. Other times there will be people that are associated with those memories, emotions, and there will be a need for forgiveness, okay? If we hold unforgiveness in ourselves, we are not living free and we are not able to release whatever energy that incident brought into our lives. So I can't emphasize that enough. I do acknowledge that forgiveness can be really difficult and there can be really painful things that happen to us in our lives. But forgiveness doesn't mean that it wasn't wrong, okay? Forgiveness doesn't mean that it didn't hurt. Forgiveness just means you release yourself from being tied to that event, that memory, that emotion, and you are freeing yourself from having any more judgments over it. And it may be difficult, but it is the most liberating thing to do, okay? So we touch these emotions and memories with love. We forgive them, we release them, we just choose not to hold judgment. Sometimes I give my clients the statement, I knowingly and willingly release all that no longer serves me. And I'll write this down for when we do our homework, for a statement that you can use for any of the emotions and the memories and the events that have been in your life that you haven't been able to touch with love yet. And please, if you're struggling with any of this, please reach out to me, because I want you to all know I'm holding you in my heart. In my meditations each day, I'm really holding space for you to grow and thrive And I would love to hear from you if you need any more support with any of this, okay? So I use essential oils. This is a feelings kit, and for those who live local, I'm happy to loan it out just for a night or two, because I like to share it around. It has these beautiful oils. You don't have to have these beautiful oils for your emotional release, but these definitely have helped me. So release, forgiveness, part of letting go, okay? It's like decluttering your home, decluttering your body, and then when you couple that with physical things like having lemon water to flush your body, or just drinking lots of water, or like when it's the right time, doing a juice cleanse. It is amazing how we can release toxins, toxic thoughts, toxic emotions, toxic traumas from our body. Because what's the big deal? Like last week we talked about what's the big deal of peace. Well, what's the big deal of release? When we have these toxic thoughts, toxic emotion, and physical toxins in our body, guess what your body does? It stores toxins in fat cells. That's right. Toxins roaming around by your brain and your, precious organs, they're really harmful. So the body goes, I need somewhere safe to put these fat cells. Let's put these toxins in fat cells. And so often people find when they detox their cells and their emotions that they lose weight because they no longer need to protect themselves from these toxins, okay? That's just one aspect of how releasing emotions and stuff can really benefit our physical body. And most of us would like to release a little bit of extra weight, but not all of us, okay? Everyone is different and unique. And so back on track this week. Last week I got you to say some things that you're going to let go of these 7 weeks. And this week I'm also inviting us to choose one more thing that for the next 6 or 7 days we're going to go without. Okay, so I'm really proud of many of you who said you're ditching alcohol on weekdays and just saving it for the weekend. That is amazing. Lots of you have ditched sugar or dairy or processed foods. That's really awesome. I've ditched gluten because sometimes I'm on the fence with it and then I'll have some and then it's not my high vibe food. So I've been feeling really good without gluten. And so this week I'll be committing to going without something else for 7 days. I haven't figured that out yet. I'll tell you soon. And we're going to dedicate one evening this week. I'm inviting you to dedicate one evening to some emotional release, and I'm going to send you some instructions with that, and I'm going to send you an I am tree, or I'm going to invite you to draw a basic tree structure. And the top of the tree, I should have got this picture in front of me, but anyway, is all the things you choose to embrace and who you are, and it's I am tree. So I am loved, I am healthy, I am thriving, I am abundance. And we're going to put in things like that. I am a happy mum, I am calm, and I respond, I don't react. And then at the bottom of the tree, we're going to be drawing leaves of things we choose to release. Okay, and this might be quite intimate. It might be an offense that we had, like I'm offended that a person did this to me. Or it might be toxic habits. Some of you have let go of, alcohol or coffee or sugar or whatever. Things that you're putting underneath you. But let's lean into the emotional side too, okay, of things that you are choosing to let go, like of your past and emotions and memories that come up. Because you know what happens when that was our tree and that's who we were. They were in the tops of the leaves, but we've let them release. And when we do touch those with love, they then become fertilizer and nourishment for our further growth. Okay? Nothing is wasted. You don't need to have regrets, and you don't need to beat yourself up for who you were in the past and what you embraced. Now they come down and they nourish you. They become your wisdom. They become just a source of nutrients for your new growth. all right? I want everyone to hold space for that, because when we have things come up, if we judge them, if we judge ourselves, if we're harsh with ourselves, like, you should have known better, what a goofball, what a idiot for like holding offense for so long, what a silly little thing to like be upset about. No, when we do that, we are resisting release. Okay, so our release has to be without judgment. It must be with love and compassion for ourselves. It's really important we do that, okay? Because where there's resistance, we don't release. So that's what we're going to do as part of your homework this week. And we're going to have a thread. Maybe I'll start it tomorrow or Wednesday, just sharing all different methods of release. I love how some of you have been engaging with the page and sharing your experience or any other resources that you have. That's what this is about. So please feel free to make yourself at home in this group. And again, if you are a little bit nervous to comment and say stuff in the whole group, feel free to private message me too, because I want you to know that you're supported, whatever specific needs you have. So I'll be setting up that just a little homework vlog so you can follow up this video with your homework. And I'm really voting your victory this week, that you'll release some toxic thinking, some maybe toxic emotions or memories that you've been holding on to, and it's time to let go, to be free, to release all that no longer serves you, so that you can thrive spirit, soul, and body. All right, I look forward to hearing from you.